Just watched a pretty good video from Sir Sick, pretty good YouTuber, talking about the stupidity of gender pronouns, which is a pretty hot topic because people won't shut up about it. It's got me thinking, the whole problem I have, well, I mean, there's a lot of problems. I mean, first of all, it's this kind of asinine, but, you know, that's been covered a million times. Besides the whole, it's kind of stupid, you're a snowflake, why does everyone else have to bend over backwards for you? Besides all that, you know, obvious stuff. One thing I really hate about this whole idea, oh, there's 28 genders, there's, 48 genders, 88 genders, 272 genders, the genders are over 9,000, the genders are, you know, instead of that, it's just, people are people. And one big problem I have, and this isn't talked about quite as much, you know, people zero in on the snowflake aspect of it, which is true, that's been covered before, but one specific aspect that isn't covered as much is the fact this promotes stereotypes. The whole concept promotes stereotypes. Because basically, they believe there's all these boxes, but every box is really, really tiny. So like, don't imagine like a big box where like maybe you're in the box and I'm in the box, but we're like in different corners. Like you're in the top left corner, I'm in the bottom right corner or something, like there's some flexibility. Imagine boxes so small, there's basically no flexibility. You have to be at this exact point or you've gone completely outside the box altogether. So, you know, if you're even like five, you know, if there's two women who, you know, pretty much are almost exactly the same, but the second woman is even just 5% different than the first woman, she's suddenly 3 genders over that way. You know, she's suddenly, you know, so it was like, okay, the first girl is, you know, gender, you know, 23, the second girl is almost exactly the same, it's 5% different, she's gender 26. Because like, that's how exact and specific each gender is to them. There's like no flexibility. Which means it evolves just purely into stereotypes. I mean, it's basically saying, oh, I'm a man, but I'm not a completely emotionless asshole, so I'm not really a man, I'm really this other gender. Oh, I'm a woman, but really I'm not a woman because I like sports and I don't like dressing up in pink dresses and having tea parties with stuffed animals. I don't constantly cry all the time, and I'm not hysterical, and I can use logic and reason, therefore I'm guessing I'm not a woman. I'm really some other gender. And that's all based on stereotypes. I mean, imagine the same logic for race. Imagine somebody's like, oh no, there's 87 different races. There's, you know, there's all these different boxes of races we could be in. Like, imagine some dude with black skin who shows up and says, I don't identify as black. And you can go, why not? Oh, well, I can read, and I'm not a drug dealer or a rapper or a basketball player, and I'm not some criminal thug, and I can read, so I don't identify as black. It's like, whoa, what did you just say? Oh, holy crap, that was racist. Whoa, time out, no. That's the most racist thing I've ever heard in my life. Are you kidding me? Imagine somebody who was Asian came in and said, I don't identify as Asian. That's not my preferred racial category. You go, well, why not? Well, because I'm bad at math, I don't know Kung Fu. Like, whoa, time out there. No. That's no, bad dog. No. Because what are those? Those are just horrible racial stereotypes. You know, they're just racial stereotypes, you know. Like, okay, no, it's not that you're not black because you can read, it's just you're black and you can read because most black people can read. Oh, it's not that you're not black because you don't play basketball and deal drugs. Those are the stereotypes. You're just a black person who doesn't play basketball and doesn't do drugs. You know, oh, you're just an Asian person who doesn't know Kung Fu. Guess what? Most Asians don't know Kung Fu. You know. So, you would be like, no, if you're Asian, and, you know, you just aren't good at math, you're still Asian. You're an Asian who's not good at math. If you're black and you're not a drug dealer and you can read, you're a black person who's not a drug dealer and can read. You're not suddenly a new racial category. Because to say you are, is to say literally that all black people are like that and all Asians are like that. You literally require stereotypes. Because you're basically saying all X are the same. I'm not the same as X, therefore I'm not X. Now that's completely logical if the premise is true. So, you know, if all X are the same and you are not the same, then you clearly can't be X. Okay, but the thing is, all X aren't the same. See, if all women like wearing pink dresses and having tea parties with stuffed animals and cried all the time, and you're a woman, but you're not crying all the time and you don't wear pink dresses and have tea parties with stuffed animals, then it would be true, okay? It must be a different gender. And if all men are emotionless assholes, and you're a man but you have emotion, then you must not be a man. And if all Asians know Kung Fu and are good at math, and you're not good at math and you don't know Kung Fu, you must not be an Asian. You know? But that's the thing, not everyone's the same. You know, they're actually creating stereotypes. Basically, every box, there's only one part, like one person can be in that box. And you have to be exactly that way. So there's a lot of boxes, but within each box, there's no variation. Now, if you were within the box of man, you must be this exact stereotype of a man. And if you were anything less, 100% stereotype of that man, you were outside the box. It can't be like, you're within the box and you're just like a different type. You're in the top left corner, I'm in the bottom right corner. Like, no. All men are the same. So if you're not the same as all men, you're not a man. All women are the same. But if you're not the same as them, then you're not a woman. That's why a lot of these young people were like, oh, my gender pronoun's Z. And it's, because these people aren't transgender. Like, let's just take it, for simplicity's sake, let's take legitimate transgender aside, put them in their own category. You think you're part of the show? We're not talking about that. We're not talking about people who are like outright transgender, because in transgender case, they're specifically saying like, I'm biologically a man, but I want to be a woman. I'm biologically a woman, but I want to be a man. Okay, so we're not talking about that. Because in that case, they believe it's like the normal, they agree with the normal system, they just think they're the wrong theme. But they believe in two, they just think they're on the wrong side. So that's kind of a separate thing. A lot of these people, a lot of these young people, they are not transgender. They're not. They're just like, oh, I'm not transgender. I'm gender number 17. I'm gender number 42. And a big part of that reason is they've been trained to think in such stereotypical ways. So they're literally going, well, I'm a man, but I don't enjoy crushing beer cans against my forehead. I don't constantly do cake stands. I'm not, constantly like, yeah, let's bang some chicks, bro. Like, in other words, I'm not a dude. I'm not like an ultra dude. I'm not like a frat boy. I'm not that. I might be a little more introspective. I might be a little more emotional. Like maybe I'm attracted to women. Like, maybe I might be a normal heterosexual man. I'm attracted to women, but I'm not like constantly talking about banging chicks, bro. And shoving pork rinds down my throat and crushing beer cans in my forehead. Like, yeah, I'm not doing that. So I guess I'm not really a man. I guess I'm a different gender, because they literally been trained to think in stereotypes. So they think there's just the way to be a man. There is one version of man, and that's one gender. There's not multiple ways to be a man. There's only one way. And if you're in the other way, rather than being like, oh, you're just a man who's like not that kind of man, instead it's no, you're a different gender altogether. If you're a woman and like you like using logic, and you have like a scientifically minded brain, and you're not really super girly, I guess you're not a woman. Even though, really, 92% of the time, you actually are mainly a woman. I mean, like, in terms like, we went through everything you said or did, you are a woman, clearly. You just have this 8% variation, but you've been told, basically, there is no variation. There's only this exact stereotype. So if you were, if you're 92% the same as any other woman, but you're 8%, like, if you're a pretty stereotypical woman yourself, but you are slightly less emotional, maybe, like, if there's like a guy on one side, a woman on the other side, you're like halfway in between. You're emotional, but you're not that emotional. You cry more than a guy would on average, but you cry less than a woman would on average. You like computer stuff a little bit more, you like math stuff a little bit more, you like computer programming and video games and nerd culture, and you like logic and reason, and politics interest you, and debate interest you, and like science and politics and philosophy and logic, and you're a little more analytical. You should just be like, okay, you're a woman who's analytical, because not all women are some hysterical bimbos. Like, who said they were? Like, not all women are some hysterical bimbos who constantly cry and talk about their periods all day long. That's just not how that works. That's why I mentioned race, because it's more obvious than if some Asian guy said, I'm not Asian because I don't know Kung Fu, obviously that's stupid. That's stupid as fuck. Obviously, hello, this dumb as hell. And you would immediately recognize it. But that's what the woman's doing. Now you have a woman who's 92% a pretty statistically average woman, and there's like an 8% variation where, okay, she's really into politics. She's really into politics, she's really into current events, she likes debate, and she likes like computer programming, and likes a little more analytical stuff, like sci-fi, like into robots and stuff. And it's like, okay. Besides that, though, completely statistically normal woman. And of course, there's plenty of female scientists and female mathematicians, female accountants. It's not like, not like all women are like, oh, numbers make my brain hurt. Shoes and purses and lipstick and unicorns. But they literally think that. They literally think that that's what they think being a woman is. So like, well, I'm not into unicorns and lipstick and pink purses and shoes. If I'm wearing tennis shoes. I don't particularly tennis shoes, Crocs, I don't particularly care. Why would I wear high heels? They hurt. I guess I'm not a woman. So rather than thinking about boxes, because it's not about boxes, like, oh, there's 80 boxes, 200 boxes. The whole reason why there's so many different genders and keeps on changing is because they have to account for every minute variation. But the thing is, even if you took 100 women who are all tomboys, they're still going to be different because they're different freaking people. Because every single person is completely individual. They're a complete individual. They're an individual person. There will never be another person exactly identical to them. There will be people similar. You might be able to run out and find 1,000 people 60% similar to you or more. You might be able to find 200 who are 75% like you or more. You might be, if you could scour the entire world, you might be able to find 100 people who are 85% like you. You might be able to find 10 people who are 90% like you. Like every once in a while you'll see on the internet, some guy meets his twin. Like they're traveling and they run into each other and they look exactly the same. Like face looks the same height, same hair color, same eye color, same facial hair. If one has a beard, the other has a beard. They look exactly the same. They're like wearing the same freaking shirts. They both bought the same shirt in the same size from Kmart. Like some kind of crazy, exact, doppelganger, But even then, though, if you completely examine, there'd be differences. The similarities stand out because what are the odds? You'd have to run into them. But if you could literally go through the entire world, you can find plenty of people who are 80% the same as you, 95% the same as you, 100% the same? No. There's not a single other person on the planet who's literally 100% identical as you. This is why there's basically infinite genders. Because if a gender is so specific to them, there's like one person who is that gender. And in order to be that same gender, you literally have to be exactly identical. And that means there's as many genders as there are people. Because you could take 100 tomboys and look at them and like, okay, they're all women, but they're all more rough and tumble. They're more into activities and sports and, tougher and, a little less girly. But, like, some tomboys are girly, just girly and boyish. Like, at the same time. They do like tea parties with pink dresses and stuffed animals. And they like playing football in the mud. Some tomboys only like playing football and don't like the girly stuff. Like, some tomboys really hate the girly stuff. Like, girly stuff. They hate it. Other tomboys, they don't hate it. They're neutral. Other tomboys, they like it. They like it, too. They like both. You can like both. It's like, hey, you like cheeseburgers or you like hamburgers? I like both. Hey, do you like pizza or do you like cheeseburgers? I like both. Like ice cream or like milkshakes? I like both. You like Mexican food or like Chinese food? I like both. You don't have to choose necessarily. So some tomboys are gonna like both. Like, no, I like some, being girly and also like running around in the mud too. I like both. I can do both. Sometimes I'll be girly, sometimes I'll be boyish. Okay. Some tomboys are neutral. They don't particularly care about the girly stuff. They don't hate it though. Other tomboys, like, really hate it. They hate it. Like, I hate it. Wear pink dresses and they're so stupid and I don't know why I have to wear it. And then there's the differences of degree. Some tomboys are, like, really, they're going around beating up boys, punching them, beating them, making them cry, not only are they a tomboy, they're like an alpha. They're like an alpha male tomboy. So, like, not only are they playing football with the boys, they're beating the crap out of the boys with the The boys are, like, running away, like, leave us alone, and the girl's chasing them, like, come on, you pussy, smacking them around, throwing mud in their face, making them cry, ha, 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 And other tomboys don't do that. So that these, like, people, these young people, oh, there's 28 genders, oh, there's 88 genders, oh, there's 290 billion genders. That's why, because every one of those 100 women would be a different gender. You'd be like, oh, okay, well, you're this. Okay, but you're slightly different. So you're 2 genders that way. Okay, you're 8 genders over that way. Okay, you're 16 genders over that way. Okay, you're gender number 42. You're gender number 57. You're gender number 53. You're gender 92. You're gender 79. You're gender 91. You're gender 88. You're gender 84.2. Because they're all individuals. And none of them are going to be exact carbon copies of each other. But because each gender box is an exact stereotype, that you must meet this exact stereotype, otherwise you're in a different box. But in that box you wind up in, everyone else must be exactly like you, or they're in a different box. And whatever box they wind up in, everyone else must be exactly like them, otherwise they're in a different box. And that's why there's an infinite number of genders, and nobody can freaking keep track. Because it just reinforces stereotypes. Like, I would say to these people, rather than say, oh, there's many different boxes, like, they think they're being free, like, oh, there's so many different boxes. Be like some prisoner in a prison, like, oh my god, I'm free. There's so many different jail cells to choose from. I could be in that cell, or that cell, or that cell, or that cell. You're still in prison, you moron. If you have to be stuck in a box There's simply more than two boxes, but you still have to be stuck in a box, and each box is a stereotype. You have to conform to a stereotype. There's just more than two stereotypes. Hey, good news, people. You still have to be a stereotype, but rather than having to choose between two stereotypes, you now choose between 80 stereotypes. But you have to choose, and you have to be one of these stereotypes. I guess it's a slight improvement. It'd be much better if you simply realized we're all individual people. And rather than being in boxes in the first place, imagine a wide open field. And people are just wandering around, and they're in different places. And you might be over there, and I might be over here, and there might be people in between. And maybe you're a woman who's just a little more into science. And you're not a different gender, you're just a woman who's a little more into science. And maybe you're a man who has some emotions. And just because you have some emotions too, doesn't mean you're not a man. You know, maybe you can just not be a stereotype and be like, well, I'm a woman, but I'm also my unique person. I'm an individual. So yeah, I'm a woman, but I'm not like every other woman. And neither is any other woman. So yeah, maybe I'm a woman, but I like playing football. Maybe I'm a woman, but I like science, and I'm going to go study robotics in college. Okay, cool. Maybe I'm a man, but I'm not going to do nothing but keg stands and crunch beer cans against my forehead. And I'm not going to call people bro all the time. Or maybe I will call people bro all the time, but I'll still be emotional. I'll be an emotional bro. Bro who's in touch with his feelings. But I don't have to be a freaking stereotype. I just don't have to be a freaking stereotype. Nor do I have to act like everyone else is a freaking stereotype. So rather than talking about how many genders there are, meaning how many stereotypes there are, I can just be who I am, and I can just be a man or be a woman. Again, we're not talking about transgender here. I can just be a man who is this way. And maybe I'm slightly more or less than the average man in a particular area. Maybe I'm a little more sensitive than the average man. Maybe I'm a little less sensitive than the average man. Still a man. Maybe I'm a woman, and maybe I cry a little less compared to the other woman. Maybe I cry a little more. Maybe I do or do not like tea parties as much as the other woman. Who knows? If I'm still a woman, I'm just not a stereotype. So anyway, that's my little rant. I'll try and put in the description the link to the Stir Sick video. So that's everything. See you next time.